In the late 60s, opposite the Presbyterian Youth Center, PYC, the first ever commercial recording studio was set up in Victoria. The proprietor of the studio was Mr. Daniel Ojong, an electrical engineer working at the time with the Cameroon Development Corporation, CDC. The technician in the studio was popularly referred to as Mr. Sammy Blues. The epic record Cameroon Mon Pays by Malapol was recorded in that studio, and the studio's label was Manu. Engineer Ojong Daniel talks on the creation of that studio.
You opened, a recording studio in Victoria, Limbe. How did you come about opening this recording studio, and how did it operate?
Yeah, at that time, during our days, there were no recording studios here. Commercial recording studios, there were none. All the recording was done by Radio Boya at the time. Even in Douala, there was no commercial recording studio. We had some business people in Douala who did some recording. We had African Bians. This was done by one Tala. He was an accountant by profession with Shell also. And then he did it on small equipment which he had in his house and so on. And I looked at it and I said to myself, this is a technical field. And I play music. And the recording equipment, I know all about studios. I design studios and so on. And so I said, why don't I do one and see if we could record some music? That's how it came about. So I rented the place opposite PYC in Victoria or Limbe, Victoria at the time. It was a building that belonged to late the pharmacist, Lepa Name. So I rented it, and there were 3 rooms, and I knocked down a few walls, I redesigned it, an echoic system and so on, soundproofed it and so on. And then I went to Douala and bought equipment, mixers, microphones, sound reflectors, and all those sort of things. I got them. I ordered a few, I couldn't get some. I got vibrating equipment, wah-wah, and the guitar thing. I had all that, and then I partitioned it out, and I had the other side of the mirror, as you generally say, when the man on the other side of the... So I had this done, and I decided to test a record, and it was successful. And believe you me, I had musicians coming from Douala, and if you would remember, one of the records that sold, Cameroon Mon Pays. Cameroon Mon Pays was recorded by me in that studio, and the artist was Paul Malap. He came all the way from Yaoundé, lodged with me. He's of blessed memory. And I set it up and recorded it, and it sold very well. And after that, I recorded Canon Sportif and a good number of other pieces. Unfortunately, I wouldn't say unfortunately, at that time the records were being pressed out of the country. They were pressing some records in Congo, but they were not good enough. So I had to press mine in Paris with Patty McCartney, the famous, yes. And my label was Manu label. I tried to raise my own division.